Now, time, in my opinion, for a review of a really underrated film. This is probably one of my favourite films ever, and it's one barely anybody actually knows about, so if there's reviews for underrated films, this is definitely one of the ones that should qualify as a truly underrated film. It's Dellamorte Dellamore, which the English title for it is Cemetery Man, although it literally translates into, I think, From Death and Love, or Of Love and Death, or sorry, Of Death and Love. It's an Italian film, but it's done in the normal Italian style where every actor speaks their native language and then it's dubbed for each of the things. So what you want with this is to watch the actual version with the English audio track, because the main character is played by Rupert Everett, and obviously he's speaking in English, and you want really to watch the main character with all their original audio and then other people dubbed as appropriate, rather than the main character being dubbed and sort of minor side characters speaking their native language. So what's the film about? Well, that's quite a difficult thing to answer. Basically, it starts off as a zombie film, it doesn't last as a zombie film all the way through. I'll give you the basic plot, and then I'll say at one point there'll be spoilers, and I'll go into it a bit more and why I really like it. So, after I've given you a brief explanation, I'll say go watch it if this sounds like the type of film you'd like, but stop watching after this point because I don't want to ruin anything. So, basically, Rupert Everett plays, he's like a watchman, sort of handyman at a cemetery, and he works with a sort of mentally handicapped gravedigger called Gnaghi, and they're sort of this odd pair that work in a graveyard, and his main job is obviously just to look after it, but within 7 days of burying a dead person, they come back to life in the graveyard for an unknown reason, and then they're like zombies. They call them returners in the film, and he has to shoot them to stop them getting out of the cemetery, and he doesn't want the media or anybody to know about it because he might lose his job, and he's meant to be a bit of an idiot, you know, and he works there because he hasn't really got anything else, so he sort of lives in this decrepit old house in the cemetery and shoots the zombies to keep it all undercover. But he tries to get the sort of council or whatever to pay for his bullets, and they won't, because of all the red tape involved, but then he doesn't want to escalate it. So yeah, it starts off as a zombie film, where he shoots zombies and he's sort of a really bored personality, and then he meets this woman, and that's where the plot sort of goes a bit crazy, but it's crazy in a really good way, not crazy in a bad way. So what I'm going to do now is say stop watching now if you haven't seen the film. If you want to see it and you think you'd like it, don't go into it expecting like some sort of zombie survival film, because it's not that at all. I just went into it knowing it was some weird obscure zombie film and really liked it. I said I've watched it 4 or 5 times now, and I finally found a Blu-ray. And if you want to get the Blu-ray of the English audio track and a good picture quality, get this one. It says it's a Cinecult version. I had to have this imported from Germany, and it's the Italian Blu-ray, but you can see on there it says, there we go, you've got the audio Italiano and Inglese, so English, so that's what we want. There's lots of special features on here, but sadly none of them have the English subtitles on them, because I think there's a director's commentary as well as lots of making of things, which look really interesting, but as I said, I can't understand any of them because they're in Italian and there's no subtitles. But the main film is absolutely great. So what I'm going to do now is talk a bit more about the film, and as I said, if you think you might like this film, stop watching now and watch it, and if you've seen the film or aren't that interested, I'm going to go into a bit more detail on why I like it. So here goes.